So I wanted to go over a couple of things from the gospel. Um, Basically, I wanted to point out that the woman that's talked about has she's clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. And the moon is often associated with emotions. So basically, she has the moon as a foundation. Basically, she has she's she knows her emotions. She's in charge of her emotions as much as anyone can be. She's in line with her emotion. Like she's got her stuff together, is what I'm saying. And then later, the dragon, uh, and the serpent cast out of his mouth after the woman water, as it were a river, that he might cause her to be carried away by the river. And I think the choice of water in this case is interesting because water is also associated. So basically, you have this serpent that's basically thrusting all of its emotions at this figure in what I think of as classic projection. You know, this is all your fault. This is all you. I'm going to make you drown now so that I don't have to think about any of this. And she basically rises up on wings of an eagle, which are a top predator, which I think is also an issue. In fact, and she basically flees from him. And the earth felt the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, swallowed up the river which the serpent cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was angry against the woman, went to make war with the rest of her seed, who keep the word of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So the earth swallows up all this water, which means that she doesn't own or take ownership of any of this emotion that's being projected at her. She basically was like, yeah, I'm out of here. That this is all you do. And then since she's no longer a target, he goes and finds somebody else to blame on whatever's going on in his life. This is both an internal and an external reality, like most things, like most metaphors. There are forces in the world and there are forces inside of us that are like throwing a 3-year-old temper tantrum and trying to make everything your fault so that they don't have to deal with their own shit. Or because dealing with their own stuff is too much for them. And so they're just doing anything they can to just not, there's a million reasons why people do the way they do. But like people say on the internet, don't feed the trolls. Whether they're internal or they're external, all you can do in a lot of cases is go within, get in alignment with yourself, with the moon below you, with the sun above you, figure out who you are, where you are, and if any of this has anything to do with you or not. A great tool for that actually is if you're having a disagreement with someone or something's going on, you remove yourself from the situation. You place anybody else in that situation. And if the situation would be exactly the same, then it has nothing to do with it. It's a great way of giving mental loops to stop. I use it a lot, honestly, because my brain likes to tell me lies. And that's where the internal version of this myth comes in, because we have our own internal serpents that are not wanting to deal with things and will spew water and emotions and thoughts everywhere. And I don't know about y'all, but in my head, it's chaos a lot of the times. So anything I could do would be like, okay, who's actually telling the truth and who's just freaking out crazy? It's like, okay, you're freaking out, but what you're saying, you're just acting out of emotion and you're actually trying to be reasonable because this thing is actually a problem. It's sort of that sort of a mess. But yeah, like I said, sometimes all you can do is listen to all of the voices, either internally or externally, figure out which ones are real for you and which ones are just acting out of their emotions. And try and live accordingly, which, like most things, give yourself a bit. I will let you know when I figure it all out. yeah. Hopefully that helps at all. And if not, you can always complain to me later. So with that, go in peace, and may the lady walk with you.